Hey everybody, it's David Art Becker here with BeckerArt Tips, and what I'm going to be doing today is teach you how to do a value pencil sketch. All right, let's get right down to it. So a pencil value study, I like to call them value studies, is a way of deciding where your big values are going to be in your sketch, or how to take and pretty much do your painting before you even get going with your painting. I used to have to do these all the time for my mentor Shapiro, Irving Shapiro, made us do these all the time. Every painting we have done. Now, normally I just change things like black. Over this way, this way, right here. You see this. This is what I do a lot of times now is I make it a black and white sketch or a photo. And so what I want to do now is show you how we used to do it with the pencils, with the pencil. And there's many different kinds of pencils. So I want to just show you, run you through them real quick. And so basically, you get lead, basically is what we want to use. And we want to use a little bit softer lead so we can get a good range of values when we do that on a paper. So you can either do stick graphite, a graphite stick, which is like, it comes like this. You can see you can get pretty dark with it. So that's a graphite stick. You can also get the stick a little bit rounded, and this is a huge graphite stick. And this has a little covering on it, and so it doesn't make your hand as dirty. And the same thing, it's pretty soft lead, and what happens is you can get a really nice dark, or you can get a really thin, very light value, right? So those are the first two that are just, then they make a pencil that is a woodless pencil. The same type of thing. It's a woodless graphite pencil. This one is a 6B, so that's really soft. And so that, though having it really soft makes it so that you can get a really dark, almost a black. And that's what we want. We want to be able to go from 10, right down here like a 10. See how I'm going like that 10? Right down to where you're doing a 1. Where it's really light, right? And everything in between. So that's how come you want to get a soft lead. So those are three that don't have any wood on it. Then they make these little in little round circles that you buy an adapter, and so this adapter right here is something you put it in. You just press the back, and I used to do for lead pencils, the graph or the drafting pen, but now they do them for sketching. And so this is like, and actually you can buy them at like a Menards for contractors. It's called like the big stick, the big pencil stick or something. But they're lead. You have to watch out. If it's too harsh, the lead, we want the lead to be soft. All right. So they also make, see, this is the lead you put inside there, and you can also get white. And so the nice thing is that if you're doing something on a black sheet of paper, you can use the white graphite, or this is chalk actually. This is like a thin chalk that you put inside this, and all you do is press the back of this, and it pops forward and goes in and out, and that's pretty simple, self-explanatory. And so those are the four. Then it also is an ebony pencil. Ebony pencil is a very it's wood pencil. Now, if you're gonna get the lead like a regular pencil, a 2B pencil, it's almost not it's not quite thick enough so that you can really push down. And if you look at the ebony pencil, the lead is very wide, and so it's nice with the ebony pencil also to just get a nice big amount of lead on there. And so that's what you want to watch. So if you're using a regular pencil, like a 2B pencil like this, see how small that is, the lead in front? So you really can't get as nice. And also they're not as soft, like a 2B is not as soft, where you can get a really dark black. So go for like an ebony pencil. This is an ebony pencil. And I will list these all into the YouTube description area below on what they are, and maybe even have links to where you can buy them. Again, white you can put inside this thing, and then also they make a thing where you can put a pencil, like an ebony pencil, if you get really short. And I just happen to have this laying around, but it's where you put the pencil inside there. You can just, if your pencil gets too short and you don't want to waste any of it, you can just put into these holders. See, now this is one's a little bit wider, a little longer, but you can just put it in there, and then what you do is you just squeeze it tight. And then if you have a little bit short thing, then you can just draw again. I have an ebony pencil in there. And again, you don't want to do these value studies with a regular pencil. All right, so here, the pictures you see here, I want to show you see how complicated this picture is. I would not want to paint it like this because there's just way too many dark lights and darks all around. So I just did it really fast, and I did it really quickly so we can get this done with and show you. But I did a really fast outline of some of the shapes that I want to have the most important shapes in the picture. And how can I make this easier to paint? Because if I'm doing everything, like if you look at the corner here, And let me just really quickly show you with this arrow that I have here. This arrow right here. So if I mean, all this stuff back here, and if you make it black and white, look at all there's black and white all around this area here. And this guy is light against the dark, and this lady right here is dark against the light. So that's all cool. But then this lady right here is dark on dark. And so that person doesn't, and look at how nicely they're lined up perfectly, so it doesn't look so nice. So I'd rather have one of these people closer to it, maybe two of them are walking together. So it's not so 1, 2, 3 like that, you know. So what I'll do is I'm going to put and really quickly sketch maybe the person. Maybe I'll put these to a couple. Maybe I'll make this as a couple, so it's 1, 2, 1. So it's not even. We want things uneven, and so maybe we'll just go right there and just put that person right there, and then by chance that person will have to be dark against this light background, which is good. And now for something here, because this is all dark, maybe there should be, maybe there's a child or something walking here, and this is a little bit different, and this will be light against the dark, just so maybe that person. Oh yeah, so then we have you know, it's like uneven and odd shaped. And now all this stuff back here, what we have is we have just the lines. I want to do the big lines, and when I go to shade it, it's almost coming how I'm going to paint it, and it gives me an idea of how I should use my values, my big values, which you every time if you see me painting on Thursday nights, I always start with big areas of lights and darks, and I go to my darks. So I'm going to figure out my lights and figure out my darks, my big shapes, and that's what you're doing with this with the lead value study. And so I'm going to go in here really quickly and make this light back here. And I'm not drawing detail. I just want to know where these big shapes are, the big lights and dark shapes. Some people do this with watercolor, like Andy Evenson, I think, does it with watercolor and actually does 3 values. I'm just going to try to do it more with 2 values. I'm not going to think about like a middle tone. I just want to know which are going to be lighter tones. Well, I guess it is a middle tone too, because I'm doing it lighter back here, but these are my darker light areas. And so this area back here, of course, is lighter. And then this, these, as they come forward, some of these things come darker and darker, right? And so this car right here, this old-time car, Model T maybe, is going to be really dark. And so I want to show that this area, that big dark here, is all the way back, and as it goes back, maybe I can make that even less dark. There's a window back here, but again, I'm going to make that lighter. And you notice I'm not doing any details. I'm just doing the area, not with the details. Like here, the truck right here, or a car, is more detailed in a way, but I'm not going to be putting in like the lights and stuff of this car. I'm just putting the overall shape, so I know what this area value, large area of value, is going to be. And that's how come I need my pencil, my graphite, to go from a 0 to a 10. I need that. Here's a little garbage can right here, and if I look at that, it's pretty dark, and there's going to be shadows going across the side here, and so you just put that there. This is just a way to simplify it, so I know that when I go to paint it, I can do this whole wash back here with all that complicated stuff back there. I just have to make sure that all that is light and value, right? So light and value. And as I'm coming forward here, now I'll go and get my bigger dark right here around these people. So that's like a doorway or underpass underneath the awning here. That's a little bit darker. And then this side of this person is light, and so behind him is a little bit lighter, a little bit darker, I mean. And so this person actually is light on the edge here. And I'm going to be going, and it's lighter than the car though. You got to watch out, because this car here has to be darker than this person. And as you go down, he's got dark pants on, so I'm going to make that dark. But I want to make this car in front of that even darker. So all this stuff up here, I want to make sure it's nice and dark. And again, do you see me doing any details? No, this is not about details whatsoever. The details you put into your drawing. This is about creating your good value pattern so that you can do those big shapes and those big values and paint them like I love you to do. Like every week we do that, right? So here's a big sign. The sign, I'll keep it, it's a blue, it's kind of dark. And if I'm looking at my picture, it is a dark, but I'm going to make it light, because there's so much dark over here. And then maybe because this is so dark an area, and if I want to give it a little interest, I'll make it go from a gradation from a darker up here. And as it goes down, I'm going to make it lighter because there's like maybe stuff in the window that you can see, and this gate, because it looks like there's a gate in front of it. If you don't want to put a gate in front, maybe we'll just put window panes right here, and maybe on the bottom put like what's there, maybe a little bit. So again, this is darker, but not as dark as the whole thing just being dark. And I just going to go from a gradation. All right, and then this over here is a light, and then we have a dark over this way, and we can make that really dark too. And then we can put this person into it where, actually there's two people. I'm not going to put the person behind that one person. I'm just going to make the one person, and make his arm sticking out against the light. And then just kind of add it to the dark over here like he's in the corner here. And so that's going to be, it's probably not the greatest composition to have that guy right there, but I think it'll stop my eye from going out and it'll be fine. And I'm going to put this shadows a little bit farther here and make the people's shadows go a little bit more. So that's going to be pretty much it when it comes, oh, now these people are dark, and dark against the light. And nice thing is, on this side of the shape of this person, I can keep it light, and as it goes into the light area, I can make it dark. So I'm juxtapositioning the light values when it comes to what's there. And so if I'm looking at all this and seeing how I can put this together, like how is the light and dark pattern? Is it getting too separated where there's too many dots of light and dark like the photo is up here? Or is it this one? Seems like it's too complicated. There's too many of the black and whites all over the place. So I want to simplify that by making things come together. Like, how can I make this dark come together with this? And so it all becomes like that's the foreground. So this car, and I'm going to put a little shadow. It looks like this car comes in here. I'm going to throw this shadow into this person, and then maybe make the street below here. And so this is all going to be like my dark area. And as it goes back, it gets lighter. And so this, of course, will be my center of interest. And what I'm doing is I'm working out the whole painting. And I know in the photo up here, this photo right here, you see how it's dark in the background. That's the photo, and that's okay that you change that. Even the building up here is a lot darker in the photo, and even is like almost a black up here. I'm not going to make it black because it has got to push back. There's this orange awning right here. I can make it orange, but I got to make it light. And so whatever that is, it's okay to keep things lighter. And if you want to put a lot of detail into this area, it's okay, but it's got to stay in a value that's nice and light back there. So this way, you can see now, even by just not having any details, if it holds together with the values, then you're good to go. You're good to go. If you feel like your value study is too broken up and there's just too many lights and darks all over the place and not really working together, then you have to change things. And that's why you do the value study, because it's a lot faster to do a value study like this, where it doesn't matter if you get the drawing and nobody's ever going to see this value study. Sometimes people like to do really tight detail value studies, but that's not what this is not what this is about. It's about just making sure you get your big lights and darks working for you. When it comes to the details of drawing and all that you do on your paper, that you do on your watercolor paper. And so that's important, and it's very important. It's the number one thing to do is make sure that your drawing is important, or even trace it. But this is probably the second most important thing, is getting the values to work together. And this I'm going to make it a little bit darker, the ground here again, so I can bring this all together. I can make this one wash go all the way through this area. So the whole foreground will have my contrasty area, and then I'll go to the background, which will be the light area. We're not going to be painting this scene, but this is, I thought, was a good one to show. This week on Thursday, we are doing a cardinal. I think we're doing a cardinal. I'm going to teach you a little bit about snow, how to put snow with masking fluid onto, because it's still, I want to keep the Christmas type of thing happening, it's still here. And so we'll be doing a cardinal for this, but this is only just to show you how to simplify your value studies. All right, so that's what we're going to be working on in a couple weeks probably. Just I want to see if a couple of you can do some of these value studies. Not this week, not with the picture that we're going to do, because usually I like to give you a couple of weeks to think about it. And so we'll see you on Thursday for the paint along. And for all the new here seeing this, I do a Thursday paint along every Thursday at 6:30 Central Standard Time. And go to my website at BeckerArt.net, and you can see what we're painting on Tuesdays, and we do it on Thursdays. All right, and so until Thursday, we'll see you, and thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.